Healthcare is a necessity. Now imagine how much healthier society would be if healthcare was fully affordable. You know, healthcare affects everyone. Even if you're healthy now or you're financially well off, um, medical costs do have an impact on your future, whether that's medical bills or prescriptions or even things as little as insurance policies. And affordable healthcare is a controversial topic due to the fact that it involves government policies and it goes into the depths of taxpayers' monies, and it involves, private insurance companies and such. People argue that, if we had more affordable healthcare, then it would require more government spending, which would increase the taxpayers' money. But I just really don't see the point of people being worried about paying a little more in taxes, if people are able to receive the healthcare they need. Because healthcare is a right, it isn't a privilege. So I do feel like everyone should be entitled to some sort of to healthcare, and it should be affordable. I'm only 20 years old, so I haven't necessarily had any kind of medical debt or any sort of uh, healthcare financial issues. But growing up, I've always kind of seen how much medical bills are and how much treatments are and how much prescriptions are due to the fact that my mom has never been medically well. And because of that, I'm so deeply invested into this topic because I want to be able to provide for my family one day, and I want to be able to ensure that they will get the health care they need. It just worries me because of the economic state we're in and how unaffordable things are. Because healthcare and health has always kind of been a top priority in my life. It just kind of worries me. So I think the United States should adopt a policy that ensures affordable healthcare for everyone. I have a few reasons for this. The first thing I'll actually talk about in this speech is how it would reduce financial stress for families. The second thing I'll talk about is how it would kind of produce fairness for everyone and make it equal. And the third thing I'll talk about is, regardless of what the opposition say about, government spending and taxpayers' money, everyone should be entitled to affordable health care. So the first thing I'll talk about is how affordable health care would reduce financial stress. Families are already struggling to pay medical bills, prescriptions, insurance policies, solely because of inflation and the fact that everything is so unaffordable. There was a study from Gallup News that said 35% of Americans can't access affordable health care or quality care. And on top of that, KFF did a study that showed collectively the American people owe $220 billion in medical debt, which is outrageous. So I think if the United States adopted a policy that ensured affordable health care for everyone, that says it in the name, it becomes affordable. People will be able to afford it. People wouldn't have to stress over it. I think one of the things we could do is kind of expand Medicaid options. A lot of people don't agree with Medicaid, but if you look at the facts, Medicaid does help. Public Health Post said that 10% of increases in insurance access reduce stress about getting meals by 7% and reduce stress about making rent or mortgage by 8%. So now that we've looked a little bit into the financial aspect of it, I want to move on to how it would make it fair. Everyone deserves some sort of medical attention when they need it. And it shouldn't be based off your income or your race or things like that. KFF did a study that showed uninsured adults are more than twice as likely to skip out or delay any kind of medical attention due to the fact of the cost. It just costs too much money. KFF also did a study that Black and Hispanic adults, even when insured, are unlikely to receive the same care or same day-to-day care as their white counterparts. I'll go back to my first argument that I made earlier, if we expanded Medicaid options, it would just make it affordable. And if it's more affordable, more people can pay for it, which makes it more equal. I don't think many people realize how often or how many people use Medicaid. According to Medicaid.org, as of 2025, 77 million people are enrolled into Medicaid and or CHIP. So now that I've given you kind of a base understanding of, why it would make it fair, I want to debunk the opposition's claim about affordable health care. They claim that affordable health care would require more government spending, which would increase the taxpayers' money, which, like I said earlier, in my opinion, taxpayers' money and government spending shouldn't interfere with somebody's ability to get the health care that they need. And to kind of debunk what they're talking about, I want to use two refutative strategies. The first one I'm going to use is evidence. The Commonwealth Fund did a study that showed other countries that have adopted or enacted a universal healthcare program. It still costs less per person than America, but they still maintain quality care, and they still figure out how to make it affordable and to allocate the funds with their government. The other one I would like to use is logic and reasoning. If you think about it, affordable healthcare can save money in the long run. There's less ER visits. There's less skip outs, which I'll go back to, and I say this because from the stats earlier, it said uninsured adults are more than twice as likely to skip out or delay care due to the cost. So there's more day-to-day care, and there's more access to any sort of medical attention you might need. It's going to reduce the big visits where bad things happen, where people need to go to the emergency room, or there's medical trauma elsewhere. And overall, it would make citizens healthier. And if there's healthier citizens, then everyone's happy. And if there's more people happy, then the nation grows as a whole. But I'm going to go back to it. Taxpayers' money and government spending should never, ever, ever interfere with somebody's ability to receive health care. It just blows me away. So now that I've kind of debunked the opposition's claim, I'd like to wrap some things up. So I think the U.S. should adopt an affordable healthcare policy for 3 reasons. 1, it would reduce less financial stress for families. 2, it would make it equal. It would create equality and a sense of fairness for everyone. And 3rd, regardless of what my opposition said, government funding or government spending and taxpayers' dollars should never interfere with somebody's ability to receive health care. Health care is a right. It's not a privilege. So for some people to get medical care, it makes or breaks being in debt or not. As Americans, we need to do better, and our government needs to do better.